When a horse's neck comes up, it is the horse's way of saying to you your hand was too quick. When a horse's neck comes down, it is the horse's way of saying to you your hand was too slow. When a horse moves his feet rather than his neck, it is the horse's way of saying to you that your hands were the correct speed. Now, technically, I do not teach a horse to put his neck down. I teach the horse to go forward, be straight, and wait on me. When he has those three things, he will naturally have the weight on his rear end, and therefore his neck will hang out in a position that is comfortable for that horse. The way I do that is by driving the horse into the bridle. I push him forward as I ask him to give to the bit. When a horse has his weight on his front end, his neck will stick up in the air. When he leans his weight back onto his rear end, his neck will hang out in front of him in a position that's comfortable to him. So technically, I do not teach a horse to put his head down. But since you asked, I'm going to show you how I would teach a horse to put his neck down. Put a pressure on him, and I would release the pressure when his neck goes down. A horse will do whatever it takes to get released from pressure. So by holding a pressure on him until he puts that neck down, I can teach him to put the neck down. So I'm not trying to teach him to put his head at a particular place. I'm just trying to teach him to take his neck a particular direction. I always reward for direction, never for place. So you could see I did this mare at a standstill, and now I'm doing the same thing at a walk. And again, this kind of thing doesn't really interest me, so I haven't taught her that. But with just a few minutes of this, it would be easy to teach her to put her nose to where it's touching the dirt. So a horse understands two things, pressure and release. And the horse will do whatever it takes to get release from the pressure. So every time she's taking her neck the direction I want her to take it, I'm releasing the pressure. Now, an easier pressure to communicate with the horse is on their belly rather than on their mouth. The best way to teach a horse that is to take them up to a fence so that they understand they're not supposed to go forward. And then put a pressure on the horse's belly with your spur. There needs to be enough pressure to make the horse want you to get your spur out of their belly, but not enough pressure to make them panic. Every time that horse's back comes up just an inch, release the pressure. And once the horse has learned the same thing, has learned that with the fence, then you can teach the horse without the fence. If the horse makes the mistake of going forward when you put your spur on the horse's belly, then block the horse's forward motion with your hand. And again, we are rewarding the horse for direction, not for place. So every time she picks her belly up an inch, I release the pressure. When she picks the belly up, her neck naturally goes down, just like it does with a human being. Now, once she has that at a standstill, I can do the same thing at a walk and put my spur on her. Now, it may be natural for her to want to go faster at first. If she does, I'm going to block her forward motion with my hand, but I'm not going to take my spur out of her belly until her neck comes down. Eventually, she will learn that the pressure up on her belly from the spur means to pick her back up rather than to go forward. So I'm going to work this mare. You can see I put a pressure with her spur, and as soon as that neck goes down an inch, I release it. You could teach a horse to do this at a standstill, a walk, trot, a lope, and a run. Anytime the horse makes the mistake of going faster, then you block his forward motion with your hand, but do not release the pressure from the spur until the horse picks his back up. The horse will learn that when I squeeze my legs into the horse, that means go faster. But when I push up on his belly with the spur, that means to drop his neck. So right there, I asked the horse to give her back, and she made the mistake of going faster. So I blocked her forward motion with my hand so that she understood she's supposed to pick her back up rather than go faster. So now I'm keeping her trotting, and periodically I'm putting a pressure on her belly with my spur. When she drops that neck, I release the pressure from the spur. So that is how you get a horse to put his head down.